Revealed. A divine earth angel, more supernatural than any demon. 3 miracles confirmed. In the heart of a quaint English village, whispers filled the air, crackling with anticipation and an inexplicable hope. 3 miracles had been confirmed. A child once paralyzed, a blind man now seeing the light, and a woman once crippled by despair, rising with renewed strength. The community gasped and murmured, their faith swelling, as if the very heavens had opened. The old stone church, dimmed by flickering candles, became a bastion of unyielding prayer. And at the center of it all was Sarah, a devoted single mother, battling the shadows of fear for her son Liam, who lay frail and pale with terminal illness. Every Sunday, Sarah played the church organ, her fingers dancing across the keys in rhythm with her desperate heart. Each note soared into the rafters, reaching for hope, cradling sorrow. Despite the weight upon her chest, she filled the space with music that bridged heaven and earth. As the villagers gathered, holding hands, their voices in prayer to St. Jude, the patron saint of hopeless causes, Sarah's heart thumped with both worry and a flicker of belief. Could it be? Could miracles indeed happen? The evening gatherings became a ritual, candlelit fervor holding the neighborhood, each whispered prayer like a soft breeze. Yet, doubt loomed like dark storm clouds, threatening to fracture their fragile faith. Until one fateful night, as the storm outside gathered momentum, an enigmatic stranger entered their midst. Calm and centered, he radiated an otherworldly aura, a light in the darkness. The flickering candles cast shadows on reverent faces as he spoke, and the very air seemed to hum with anticipation. Divine intervention is on its way, he intoned, each word a deliberate proclamation. Sarah felt warmth seep into her core as she stepped forward. My son Liam, her voice trembled, yet resolute. He suffers so much. The stranger's gaze met hers, and she saw compassion reflected in his eyes. Have faith, dear one, he replied, igniting hope like flames within her heart. The next morning brought a miraculous change. Liam, once still as a statue, showed signs of life. His laughter echoed, his eyes twinkling like the first morning sun. The village buzzed, collective excitement crackling in the air like the static before a storm. As they celebrated, dark shadows crept in, a tempest brewing sharply on the horizon. The sky crackling with electric fear, and the heart of the storm, with thunder rumbling like an angry beast, the stranger reappeared. This time, he stood tall, his celestial presence an anchor amidst chaos. Let us unite in prayer, he proclaimed, invoking Goddess Mercy like a warrior rallying his troops. Their voices rose, collective prayers entwined, strong and fervent. But deep down, fear clung to them like mist. Would divine intervention save them? Or was this moment merely an illusion? Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The winds howled like lost souls, and fear threaded through each villager's heart. Sarah glanced at the stranger just as a blinding light pierced the storm. The church was flooded with an ethereal glow, breaking through the encroaching darkness. A collective gasp arose, eyes widening in awe and trepidation. What would this light reveal? Was it salvation or another trial to test their wavering faith? As hope battled fear, Sarah's heart raced. Would the power of united prayer hold against the furious tempest? Would Liam's healing prevail? Or would the storm's fury extinguish their hope forever? The congregation held on, faith flickering like a candle, leaning in against the wild winds, caught in a moment teetering between despair and belief. What awaited them was unknown, but the light beckoned, another chapter in their intertwining stories of faith and hope looming just ahead. The blinding light pulsated through the church, illuminating faces filled with both wonder and trepidation. It was as though the heavens themselves were opening up, pouring down blessings to quench their fears. Sarah felt the warmth wrap around her like a comforting embrace. She squeezed her eyes shut, praying silently for strength, for Liam, for her entire community. Around her, the villagers were spellbound. The stranger, still framed in divine light, raised his arms wide, inviting the energy swirling in the air to gather. From the depths of their hopelessness blossomed a song, a melody rising to meet the stranger's beckoning. It was the voice of the church, a seeping tide of faith breaking through the surface of their doubts. The congregation began to chant, their words weaving together in unison, defying the storm's rage outside. Lord, heal our hearts, heal our land, make us whole again. Each word, an invocation. Every heartbeat resonating in harmony with the sacred plea, formed ripples in the air. Sarah looked beyond the stranger, her eyes drifting towards the altar, where flickering flames flickered like the hopes burning within her soul. Her prayers intertwined with those around her, lifting higher, riding the tempest of emotion igniting the room. Then, amid the fervor, the stranger's voice rose above the chorus, commanding yet soothing. This storm is not merely a test of your faith. Carries with it the promise of rebirth. Renewed strength can emerge from chaos. Allow the trials to pass, and witness what is to come. This proclamation struck a chord deep inside Sarah. An understanding settled within her heart. She looked at the villagers around her, each face, a reflection of her own struggle, yearning for a hope that seemed out of reach. Yet now, encased in the light, she could feel it transform from a shadow into a flame, igniting within them a shared purpose. Her eyes flickered to Liam's fragile form, battling illness, finished with a quiet resolve just beneath the surface. Would he bloom like the flowers after a storm? Would their collected joys and sorrows spark something anew within him? The air thickened with energy, almost tangible as it bore witness to their collective hopes. The light grew stronger, sharper, each breath filling the church with divine intent. It was as if the walls themselves were vibrating, responding to the prayers resonating within. Suddenly, silence fell, a stillness so profound it felt sacred. Every soul held their breath, waiting, and in that very hush, the air crackled. A small sound emerged, a gasp. Then came a giggle, unheard but undeniably present. Was it real? From the corner of her eye, Sarah saw a flicker of movement. Heart pounding, she turned toward Liam. There he stood, his frail frame illuminated by the mesmerizing glow, an inner light emerging to match the celestial brightness. His laughter danced around the room, echoing like a heavenly choir, vibrant and full of life. For a moment, the space melted away, time suspended, trials forgotten. But just as fast as it bloomed, questions sprang anew in Sarah's heart. What did this miraculous moment signify? As Liam reached out, searching for connection amongst the sea of faces, Sarah felt an overwhelming mixture of trepidation and awe. Could they have crossed the threshold into a greater truth? Was this just a glimpse of the divine, the call to accept his plan amidst chaos? The storm raged outside, yet inside, a different kind of tempest seethed with possibility. Sarah could only wonder what the next unfolding chapter of their story would hold. Would this be the dawn, or merely the calm before yet another storm? The light pulsed, and Sarah knew something monumental was about to unfold. What lay beyond this moment? Would they be ready to embrace it all? As the echoes of Liam's laughter vibrated within the church, an intoxicating warmth enveloped Sarah's heart. It washed over her like a wave, sweeping away remnants of doubt. The divine glow cast gentle shadows across the faces of the villagers, shining light upon hopes long buried beneath grief and sorrow. It felt as if the heavens themselves rejoiced, wrapping their community in a tender embrace. Others began to stir, shifting their focus toward Liam. Gasps of astonishment collided with murmurs of faith. The stranger, still holding his arms wide, stepped closer, his gaze piercing yet compassionate. "Do you see?" he called out. "This is the awakening, a living testimony that faith wields the power to transform. The divine whispers to you through every trial, and it is through this trust that miracles will unfold." As encouragement flowed from the stranger's lips, Sarah could feel the embers of hope flicker brighter within her. The villagers began to speak in soft tones of wonder, recounting their shared struggles, each story a thread woven into a vibrant tapestry. Could it be that they were at the dawn of something extraordinary, born from a storm? A collective healing might just be beginning. "Liam," a woman cried, her voice thick with emotion. "Your joy, is it real?" The room turned still, all eyes on the boy whose revival ignited the spirit of the church. He nodded, his smile radiant, imbued with the light that danced around him. "Yes, I feel alive. I can breathe again." His voice was merry, unfiltered enthusiasm trickling forth from the depths of his heart. At that moment, the stranger lowered his arms and began to walk among them, his steps gentle and deliberate. As he passed, palpable energy flowed from him, healing whispers trailing in his wake. Each person he touched felt their burdens lift. The weight of despair melted away as tears transformed into smiles. The village once lost felt renewed, awakened, whole. "Open your hearts," the stranger urged as he moved, "for the divine plan goes beyond you. You are instruments of his grace. Your faith has power." Sarah's heart swelled with the weight of his words. Could it be true? Had their collective faith summoned forth this divine gift? In the blink of an eye, Liam leapt forward, catching the stranger's hand, his excitement bubbling over. Will we see miracles? Will the storm stop? His youthful wonder captured the gaze of every soul in the church. The stranger looked down, his eyes shimmering with wisdom and love. Miracles are already here. They live in the moments shared, in the pain transformed into strength, in the connections you nurture with one another. The storm may yet rage, but within you, I see a fire burning. Kindle it. With unity, every hardship becomes a step toward grace. Sarah felt a fluttering in her chest. A question stirred deep within. Did their fight against despair matter? Could they really stand resilient against their trials? As clarity washed over her, she whispered, "What must we do next?" The stranger watched her with a smile that promised answers yet to come. "Embrace the darkness. Witness your power. Miracles will emerge in their time, but only if you are willing to step into the unknown." With that, he turned, his form dissolving into the radiant light that enveloped them. A wave of silence washed over the church once more, filled with questions, revelations, and unspoken hopes. What was their next step? Would they dare to trust, even amid chaos? As the storm outside bore down with relentless fury, the subtle pulse of life ignited anew within the hearts present. What awaited them in the shadows? What hidden blessings lingered just beyond reach? The path ahead glimmered, veiled in divine mystery. The air hummed with anticipation as Sarah looked around, her heart racing with possibilities. Each villager's face told a different story of loss, hope, and now, unexpected joy. The stranger's words echoed in her mind, stirring a newfound determination within her. How would they harness this faith? How would they walk together into the unknown? Suddenly, a gust of wind rattled the church doors, a reminder of the tempest brewing outside. But inside, a different kind of storm was stirring, one fueled by hope and faith. Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the moment surrounding her. "Let us gather together," she proposed, her voice steady. "Let us create a circle. Let us share our stories. Each of our lives has been a struggle, and now we have the chance to share our light." The villagers nodded, understanding the need for connection, their voices melding into one harmonious symphony. They moved closer, clasping hands, forming a bond that felt almost tangible as they shared their fears and dreams. Emotions blossomed like flowers after rain. There was James, who had lost his crops to the flooding. He spoke of planting again, dreaming of brighter days. There was Mary, who mourned the loss of her husband. Her heart ached, but she felt the light of Liam's laughter shining on her, urging her to remember the love they had shared. Each voice added layers of strength to their collective spirit, knitting them together as one in the midst of their unison. The stranger's presence lingered like a gentle whisper, reminding them, "Unity brings forth miracles. Together you can move mountains." Liam's voice emerged from the back, soaring with innocence. Can we create a garden? A place for joy to grow, even in the storm? His eyes sparkled with childlike wonder, igniting smiles across the circle. Yes, Sarah exclaimed, excitement bubbling within her. Let us build a community garden, a place where we can plant seeds of hope. As hands squeezed tighter in agreement, an energy, rich and vibrant, began to swell among them, a promise of renewal and purpose. The air sparkled with possibility, and for the first time, the storm outside seemed distant, almost irrelevant. Now, Sarah continued, let us draw upon the well of miracles within us. We'll not only plant seeds in the soil but also seeds of faith in each other. Murmurs of affirmation rippled through the attendees, their souls waking to this shared vision. They envisioned bright greens and bursting colors, a testament to resilience. It was a miracle in the making, tangible and compassionate. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught Sarah's eye. The church windows shimmered with an ethereal light, pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. The villagers turned to see what it was, a bright light pulsating outside, almost beckoning to them. Is that? Someone whispered, awe straining their voice. Yes, it's a sign, Liam exclaimed, the wonder in his tone rising above the hushed whispers. It felt as if the divine was confirming their mission, urging them on. Divine energy flowed through the room, lifting spirits and igniting passions. Sarah felt a surge of faith wrap around her. What if they were meant to witness something extraordinary? Let us not just wait for miracles, she declared. Let us create them. Emboldened by their resolve, they dedicated themselves to rebuilding the community together, hearts aligned to nurture a garden and spirits intertwined with purpose. Yet, as shadows flickered at the edges of their courage, a question pulsed like a distant drumbeat. What sacrifices awaited them as they stepped forward? Would they be prepared for the trials ahead? Would they remain steadfast as the storms continued to rage outside their walls? The light pulsing at the windows grew brighter, filling the church with warmth. What wonders awaited them in that flickering flame? And could they trust enough to embrace the revelation lying just beyond their grasp? The light at the windows intensified, casting a divine glow that danced across the villagers' faces. It felt alive, wrapping around them like a warm embrace. Sarah's heart pounded with a mingling of fear and hope as anticipation coursed through the group. Look, she exclaimed, pointing toward the shimmering light. It's growing even brighter. It's a signal from above. A hush fell over the congregation, breaths held as they sensed the sacred atmosphere. Their hearts synchronized, a choir of faith echoing in that holy moment. The light outside pulsed with urgency, urging them to act, to believe, to take the next step. I feel something stirring, Mary whispered, her voice trembling, as if our ancestors are whispering to us, urging us to be brave. Encouragement rippled through the circle. They were to gather strength from the very fabric of their community, woven together through sorrow and joy. Sarah's voice soared above the silence, carrying their collective spirit. Together, we have the power to ignite hope in ourselves and in each other. We can create miracles. Suddenly, the door creaked open, revealing a gentle figure cloaked in brilliant light. The stranger from earlier stepped inside, radiating an aura of peace and wisdom. Gasps filled the room as he advanced, illuminating the faint shadows of doubt. I am here to guide you, he said softly, his voice resonating like a clarion call. The time has come to embrace the light within you and let it shine. You are on the brink of extraordinary works. The villagers leaned in, eyes wide with curiosity and reverence. Miracles can flourish when faith is nurtured. He continued, gazing at each of them, each face a testament of trials born and victories fought. But with your resolve will come challenges. The path to unity won't always be smooth. It may call you to sacrifice comfort and familiarity. A murmur of apprehension swept through the crowd, but they quickly reassured one another with resolute glances. They had faced storms before. This time would be no different. Remember, he urged, his eyes twinkling with a knowing light, what you do for one another is a reflection of your faith. Love thrives in community. It grows deeper in the soil of shared pain and joy. With that, he pointed outside, where the light beckoned warmly. You will cultivate more than just crops. You will sow seeds of faith. And in return, the earth shall bring forth miracles. As if right on cue, the ground beneath their feet shook lightly, tremors of promise reverberating through the church. Sarah felt a surge of energy whispering through her, a connection to the earth that urged her forward. Our garden, she breathed, excitement blooming. If we work together, it can flourish. The villagers exchanged inspired glances, affirming that unity of purpose would bind them in this divine undertaking. Sarah stepped forward, emboldened. Let us lay the first stones of our garden-esque boundary. Let this be the foundation of our hope. They flowed out of the church, laughter and joy spilling forth. Each villager rolled up their sleeves, hearts uniting to form the garden that would symbolize their shared faith. As the sun began to set, an extraordinary glow settled over them, deepening the colors of the world around. Sarah knelt to the earth, feeling it pulse beneath her fingers as they worked. But deep within, doubts lingered as shadows danced at the edges of their newfound light. What challenges would test them? What fears would arise as they ventured into their mission? With every stone laid and seed planted came a flicker of uncertainty. The villagers looked to the sky, the glow now a beacon of faith, illuminating their faces. Would they impart love and courage enough to withstand adversity? In the quiet embrace of twilight, spirits lifted, believing in miracles to come. The light pulsing like a heartbeat reminded them that just beyond their grasp lay the unknown adventure of faith. But with such promise, did they dare embrace the greater truth that awaited them, a revelation as profound as the light itself? Could it lead them to become what they never imagined? The villagers gathered around the plot of land, the anticipation buzzing in the air. Each heart beat with a sacred rhythm, as if they were all connected by an unseen thread. As they knelt in the dimming light, feeling the cool earth beneath them, Sarah sensed a deeper purpose blooming. Let us begin, she urged, her hands trembling with excitement. Every seed we plant today is a promise for tomorrow. With renewed determination, they formed a circle around the soil, the sacred task unfolding like the petals of a flower. Together they dug and turned the earth, the vibrant conversations intertwined with laughter. It felt like a holy hymn, a celebration echoing amidst whispers of encouragement. Look at this, Tom shouted, unearthing a handful of rocks. Each one we remove takes away our obstacles. The villagers cheered, emboldened by their shared labor. Mary stood close by, holding a handful of seeds, her heart expanded with hope. These seeds are more than just plants, she proclaimed. They are our faith, our dreams, our future. As they laid the seeds in the ground, a soft breeze swept through the garden, carrying the whispers of unseen blessings. It felt as if the very air was alive with divine presence, affirming their efforts. Yet, as dusk fell, uncertainty began to wrap around Sarah's heart like a shroud. Shadows emerged, stretching across their budding garden, reminding her of the challenges they might face. What if we fail? She whispered, the thought tightening like a grip around her chest. Sarah, a familiar voice called, breaking her focus. It was Mary, her face shimmering with genuine earnestness. Remember what the stranger said. This garden isn't just about us. It's about our community, our bond. Together we are stronger. Sarah nodded slowly, yet doubt lingered. Would their combined strength be enough? The weight of her fears pressed down, trying to dim the light of hope. The stranger's words resounded within her mind. With your resolve will come challenges. The thought reverberated like a drumbeat. The air around them seemed to pulse as though affirming this truth with each heartbeat, compelling her to look beyond. Tonight, let us come together in prayer, she suggested, unexpectedly fueled by a sense of courage. The villagers paused, the energy of her words knitting them closer as they gathered in a circle once more. Hands joined. The air felt charged with anticipation. With earnest hearts, they called upon the divine, asking for guidance, for strength to fulfill their calling, to overcome doubts. Lord, Sarah began, her voice steady yet soft, we humbly ask that you bless this sacred soil, nourish our seeds of faith, and unite our spirits as we cultivate this garden together. As she prayed, a sudden warmth enveloped them, a gentle glow sinking into their hearts. Mary squeezed Sarah's hand, sending a wave of comfort through their linked fingers. In that moment, doubt began to recede, replaced by a profound peace. What if hope is the miracle? Sarah pondered aloud, her eyes glistening. What if each act of love truly has the power to change the world? An exhale of relief washed over the group, breathing new life into their purpose. The shadows around them no longer appeared menacing. They became a backdrop for their illumination. But as your heart fills with courage, will it stand the test of greater trials? Could the journey they were embarking on unearth hidden truths, possibly leading them to a miraculous revelation beyond their understanding? The night was young, and the stars twinkled overhead, a herald of what was to come. Would they awaken the divine potential they all carried within? The earth held its breath as they prepared for the dawn, a dawn that promised transformation, yet shrouded them in divine mystery. The moon hung bright in the sky, its silvery light washing over the gathered villagers, creating an atmosphere both ethereal and sacred. As the last notes of their prayer faded, there was a stillness that enveloped them, a whisper of the divine settling in their hearts. Sarah reflected on what had just transpired. Their collective hope seemed to bind them tighter, a tapestry woven with faith. "Let us stay vigilant," Tom suggested, his voice steady and filled with purpose. "We must nurture each other as we nurture these seeds. We are its guardians." Guardians, the word resonated with Sarah. They weren't just planting seeds. They were planting faith, love, and trust in one another. This garden, however small, could become a symbol of their unity and resilience. The darkness of doubt could only thrive in isolation, yet together, they could illuminate the way forward. The gentle rustle of leaves reminded them of the promise that lay beneath the soil, but Sarah noticed an uneasy stirring among the group. The air seemed thick with anticipation, as if their little garden held secrets waiting to be discovered. Perhaps they were on the brink of something extraordinary. Then, as if summoned by their thoughts, a soft glow began to emanate from the spot where they had buried their seeds. "Look," Mary gasped, pointing at the ground. The villagers turned, their breaths aligning in disbelief. A singular beam of light pierced the darkness, cascading down as if shining directly from the heavens. "What is happening?" murmured one villager, taking a cautious step forward. As they watched, the light grew, swirling and shimmering like a sacred dance. It pulled their hearts upward, reminding them of the unbreakable bond they deformed just moments ago. Sarah felt a warmth wash over her, igniting a sense of purpose that deepened with every rising pulse of light. "Pray again, Sarah," encouraged Mary, her eyes wide with wonder. "Invite the miracle to show itself." With a heart ablaze with courage, Sarah lifted her voice again into the night. "Holy Spirit, descend upon us. Reveal the wonders of your grace through our efforts. Let our seeds flourish and our faith grow." As the last echoes of her prayer faded, a soft breeze swept through the garden, carrying the scent of blooms yet unseen. And in that moment, something magnificent happened. A single sprout broke through the surface, glowing with an otherworldly light, unfurling its leaves as if stretching towards the heavens. Gasps filled the air as more sprouts followed suit, transforming their patch of earth into a dazzling display of new life. "Is this real?" Tom breathed, astonished. "Yes," Sarah shouted, overwhelmed. "It's more than we hoped for. It's the manifestation of our faith." The villagers rejoiced, their laughter filling the night as they embraced one another. Each sprout was a testament to their love, their bond a miracle igniting as they stood together, unfurling into the world beyond. But as joy swirled around them, a shadow crept back into Sarah's heart. She remembered the stranger's warning. "With your resolve will come challenges." What would this newfound miracle ask of them? Would they remain steadfast against forces they could not yet see? Tomorrow promised blooming possibilities, but would their faith hold strong in the face of adversity? The sky brightened with the first light of dawn, yet with it came uncertainty. Could they protect what was unfolding? The air thickened with expectation as they stared at their blossoming miracle, reminded of the trials that would surely follow. Would they be ready for what was to come? The answer loomed hazardous yet thrilling in its ambiguity. A divine adventure was just beginning, waiting to reveal what lay ahead. As dawn's first light crept in, the village was transformed. Colors danced around them, as if nature herself rejoiced alongside the villagers. A faint dew clung to the leaves, sparkling like tiny diamonds under the sun's embrace. Sarah felt the warmth seep into her skin, a promise of hope and renewal stirring deep within her soul. Yet, in the heart of this awakening beauty, anxiety wove through their gathering. The gentle laughter and joyous shouts masked the fear tethered to each villager's heart. They were witnesses to a miracle, yet the weight of responsibility loomed larger. Tom stood taller, eyes fixed on the glowing sprouts that seemed to pulse with life. "We've witnessed something remarkable," he began, his voice firm and inspiring. "But like seeds, our faith needs tending. We can't just watch it grow, we must nurture it." His words struck a chord, a melodic reminder of their shared commitment. "We are not just guardians of the garden," Sarah chimed in, "but guardians of each other's spirits." Empowered by their resolve, they moved closer to the sprouts, their hands outstretched as they felt the energy radiating from the earth. In that moment they set to work. They carefully cleared the area, ensuring nothing could choke their new life. Each flick of dirt spoke of devotion, and each breath shared was a prayer. It wasn't too long before they noticed the environment shifting. The air felt different. The breeze carried whispers of encouragement, nudging them forward as they toiled. Mary caught a glimpse of something strange beyond the garden's border. There, on the edge of the forest, a figure appeared. Cloaked in shadow, it seemed to observe them silently. Anxiety gripped her heart. "Do you see that?" she whispered, gesturing towards the encroaching darkness. The villagers halted, all eyes now drawn toward the figure. A thick silence enveloped them. Every heartbeat sounded like thunder in the stillness. The figure stepped forward, revealing not menace, but instead an expression of longing and curiosity. "What do you want?" Tom called out, his voice echoing, strong yet cautionary. "I seek understanding," the figure responded, its voice low and trembling. "For too long, I have wandered, lost among my doubts. Your light, it calls to me." Shock rippled through the crowd. Could this presence, at once daunting and vulnerable, be drawn to their miracle? With a deep breath, Sarah stepped forward, empowered by compassion. "You are welcome here," she proclaimed, "but know that we stand united, stronger together than apart. The light you see is not ours alone. It is a gift of faith." As she spoke, the sprouting plants seemed to shimmer with intensity, a response to their collective courage. The figure hesitated, torn between fear and longing. "Join us," Sarah encouraged gently. "Let our light guide you. We're here, together, and we can face the darkness as one." With a slight nod, the shadowy figure stepped closer. The moment felt sacred, like a page turning in the story only God knew. Could it be that the trials awaiting them were not only threats but also opportunities for healing? Just then, another sprout broke through the soil, radiating an aura of hope. The crowd gasped as more sprouts followed, echoing the call for unity that resounded in their hearts. They watched as these new shoots glimmered, and the air thickened with an unmistakable energy. What would they do next? Would they embrace the unknown and welcome this mysterious presence into their fold? The sun climbed higher, bathing the garden in golden light, yet shadows lingered, hinting at challenges ahead. Sarah breathed deeply, ready for the unfolding mystery. With faith as their anchor, they stood united. Little did they know, a journey was ahead, one filled with revelation, testing the limits of their courage as they ventured into the unknown. Could they remain steadfast amidst the encroaching darkness? The answer awaited just beyond the horizon. Ready to unveil divine truths, the figure drew in closer, the shadows around it melting away under the golden sunlight. As it stepped into the warmth, a remarkable change transformed the once eerie presence. The villagers held their breath, hearts fluttering between hope and fear. "Is it you?" Mary whispered, trembling slightly. The figure raised its head, revealing features that were soft and wise. Beneath the darkness that had cloaked it lived an almost ethereal light, shining through the remnants of its past burdens. "I am but a wanderer in need of light," the figure replied, its voice a soothing melody. "I've been lost for many seasons, haunted by doubt and despair. But here I feel something different." Tom took a step forward, his curiosity piqued. "What is it you seek, truly? Is it knowledge or acceptance?" The figure paused, a contemplative look gracing its expression. "I seek to heal what has been broken. My spirit dwells too long in shadows. I desire to witness the spark of faith that dances through your community." Sarah, now fully enveloped by compassion, felt her own spirit lift. "Then let us show you. We are all on a journey, and every step brings us closer to the light. Come with us, and let our faith interweave. It's never too late to mend a heart." As they welcomed the figure among them, the garden responded in kind. More sprouts rose triumphantly from the earth, stretching skyward as if celebrating the newfound connection. The fragrant scent of blooming flowers filled the air, an elixir of hope and healing that wrapped around the villagers, lifting their burdens. The figure smiled, a gentle warmth radiating from its being. "What beauty this is! How can a heart so heavy feel so light?" "Through faith," Sarah whispered. "Through the bonds we share." Encouraged by her words, others chimed in, their faith sparking connections between them as laughter and gratitude rang out. This harmonious chorus electrified the atmosphere, a testament to the miracles unfolding in their midst as they shared stories of struggle and triumph. Every word became a thread woven into the fabric of their unity. Just then, a bright flash flickered behind the figure, drawing the villagers' gaze toward the forest. It was a shimmer of light that painted the edges of the trees golden. "Do you see that?" Mary exclaimed, pointing. "What could it be?" Tom asked, his voice tinged with wonder. "I believe it is a sign," the figure responded, its eyes wide with recognition. "A promise that miracles are not only possible but inextricably linked to the light we nurture within ourselves." The garden pulsed with life, and for a brief moment, all the doubts that had lingered were pushed aside as they harmonized with the divine energy that enveloped them. The connection deepened, binding their hearts, and the presence of the figure felt less like an outsider and more like a kindred spirit. Then a whisper floated through the air, a voice that felt familiar. "You have welcomed the divine in your midst. Yet, know this, with each blessing comes the chance for greater trials. You will be tested, but together you can overcome." A tremor shook the ground beneath their feet, and the villagers clasped hands, standing resolutely. The air turned electric, heightened by their unwavering faith as the final rays of the sun dipped below the horizon, illuminating the forest with a blaze of crimson and gold. Sarah's heart raced. What awaited them just beyond the edge of that glimmer? Would they remain steadfast and embrace the challenges ahead? A deep breath filled the air, blending anticipation and resolve. And it was in that sacred moment a question bloomed. How valiantly would they protect the light they had found? Their journey was far from over. The horizon promised more than they could imagine. As dawn broke over the village, light poured into the church, painting the stone walls with warmth and hope. Every villager felt it, a subtle reminder of their miraculous journey. Sarah stood before the flickering altar candles, her heart aching with gratitude. And yet, an unshakable apprehension lingered. Their community had transformed through faith, yet the future remained veiled in mystery. The garden they had tended together glimmered with fresh blossoms, the fruits of their labor rising from the soil, a testament to their unified spirit. Yet, Sarah sensed the storm clouds hovering close, whispering of trials yet to come. She took a deep breath and turned to the villagers gathered around her. "Today we celebrate what we have achieved, but we must ready ourselves for what lies ahead. The journey won't always be easy." They nodded, each face a canvas painted with hope and fear intertwined. Liam, now vibrant with life, squeezed Sarah's hand, radiating innocence and trust. "Mom, we're strong together. We can do anything." His unwavering faith lifted the spirits that hung heavy in the air, A gentle rustle broke through the congregation as the mysterious figure who had once stood shrouded in shadow stepped forward from the gathering. With soft features glowing in the morning light, they shared a smile imbued with the essence of newfound belonging. "You have embraced the light and welcomed me into your fold," the figure spoke, voice rich with warmth. "Now let us illuminate the path before us one step at a time." Encouraged by the figure's presence, joy erupted, spilling forth like sunlight chasing away shadows. Tom raised his voice into the brightening day. "Let us continue nurturing not just the garden but the bonds between us. Each story we share, each moment of kindness, those are the seeds of faith that will carry us through." The villagers looked around, smiling and murmuring affirmations, an electrifying buzz coursing through their circle. With each shared laughter and embedded warmth of fellowship, Sarah felt chains of doubt dissolve, replaced by a resolute conviction that together, they could weather any storm. "Let us build a community not defined by our fears, but rather our hopes," Sarah spoke, her voice strong and clear. "Each challenge faced will become a testament to our enduring spirit. We must nurture not only plants but the very faith that binds us." The villagers began to chant, voices intertwining like vines together. "We are strong. Together we believe." Every note sang of encouragement, echoing through the morning air. But deep within Sarah's heart, the storm still loomed. The figure noticed her unease and moved closer, laying a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Trust in the journey," they whispered. "It's in the trials that you will uncover profound truths." And then, as if on cue, a chill swept through the air, dark clouds creeping in from the horizon. Gasps swept the congregation, and the storm's growl mirrored their collective trepidation. But Sarah stood firm, her voice unwavering. "We will face this together. If our faith can bring forth miracles, it can also ignite courage to face the unknown." She lifted her arms wide, inviting the community to embrace their fears, to unite against the tempest brewing outside their sanctuary. The stranger stepped into the middle, shimmering with conviction, offering hope and light amidst the gathering darkness. "Your light, your faith is unmatched," the stranger proclaimed. "It shines brighter than any storm. Each drop of rain is a reminder. From chaos, miracles bloom. Don't let fear dim your fire." Liam stepped forward, eyes wide with defiance. "We will keep planting our seeds. No storm can take that away." Sarah's heart swelled. She knew they were more than a village, they were a family forged in trust and divine purpose. "Let us remember our miracle, a garden of faith, and hold it close as we step into the storm." With renewed vigor, the villagers took hands, joining in a circle of strength. Together they began to chant, resonating harmoniously, "Faith will bring us through. Faith will make us strong." The winds howled, but within the church, their unity stood unshaken. Faces lit by hope, the glow of candles flickered like their combined spirits, undeterred by uncertainty, emboldened by solidarity. As thunder rumbled and lightning illuminated the sky outside, a brilliant light erupted within the church, responding to their fervor. In that moment, the walls vibrated with divine energy, the very air pulsing with the heartbeats of their unified hope. And then it happened, a shift. The wind that once threatened to tear them apart became a gentle breeze, wrapping them in warmth as if the divine itself was cradling them. "Fear not. Let this be the end of doubt," the figure cried, their voice mixing with the powerful chorus of the villagers, causing the very air to tremble. "With faith you are invincible. Each struggle faced is merely a chapter in your story of miraculous triumph." As the storm softened, the light enveloping the church burned brighter like a beacon in the dark, guiding the lost home to a spirit of hope. All at once, they felt it, that inexplicable peace washing over them, locking arms heart to heart in a sacred embrace. Through the storms of life, they learned miracles weren't solely about the events that would occur, but about nurturing love, standing together, and confronting fears boldly. They were not just a village. They were a manifestation of faith woven into every thread of the tapestry they had begun to create together. As the first rays of sun broke through the clouds, illuminating the garden outside, Sarah whispered a heartfelt prayer of gratitude. Every fear had been tested, but together they had turned shadows to light, revealing their unwavering spirit. This was just the beginning. With hope soaring in every heart, they stepped into the day, united as one, ready to share their miracles with the world beyond. Would their journey continue to unfold? Only time would tell, but they would embrace it with arms wide open, bound by faith and fueled by love. To all of you witnessing this sacred journey, your miracle is coming too. There's power in your faith. Subscribe immediately to our channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories that inspire and uplift. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and spread this message of hope. Comment your reactions and testimonies about the ending. Let your voice be heard. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. Your support means the world to us. Don't wait even one more second. True servants of God understand the importance of standing together.